and welcome to Dawn News English. With 20 minutes, I'm Nadia Naqi with you. I have senior journalist Imtiaz Alam with me. Imtiaz Alam has been one of the participants of the delegation that met with the former Prime Minister Imran Khan, the delegation, which comprises of other members, including journalists and as well as people from the Bar Council. It's a civil society delegation that met the former Prime Minister in view to discuss and diffuse the political tensions between the ruling coalition as well as the party in opposition, that is Pakistan Tehreek-i-Insaf. So we're going to talk about how the meeting went, what has been decided, and how hopeful is Imtiaz Alam that this can work out, because we do know that in the past, Imtiaz Saab, you know this very, I think you know it better than anybody else, that for any sort of mediation, we had the military establishment bringing the political parties on the table to discuss and diffuse all sorts of political tensions. And it is fairly new for all political parties that establishment says, at least that's what we are taking with a pinch of salt, that they are neutral. They do not want to be part of any sort of political discussions. So in the absence of military establishment, I think all the political parties are finding it very difficult to find a solution. So how was your meeting, and how many members had actually gone to meet up with Imran Khan?
You see, a journalist like you is expressing suspicion about this civil society initiative, because in Pakistan, people don't think beyond GHQ or without the wings of GHQ. You know that I have been in entire military establishment throughout my life, and I spent 8 years in prison under every military rule, and we have been consistently fighting for democracy and rule of law in this country. We do not want any role of Pakistan military in Pakistani politics. If the army says today that they are out of politics, thank you very much. So we also say thank you very much, goodbye. So what we felt to take this initiative was that there was a lot of bickering going on, a lot of confrontation going on, and it was taking every other day yet another ugly turn. So It was becoming very, very disturbing. We have seen this in 1977 when there was a big conflict between PNA, Pakistan National Movement, Pakistan National Alliance, and Mr. Bhutto. But still, you know, there was a civilian who came between the Bhutto Saab and the PNA leaders. And we remember Rasulullah Khan, who has always been mediating and trying to build all parties' consensus on various issues facing democracy. So we consulted all civil society organizations, and they are very consistent Democrats, the bar councils, the journalists union, the PFUJ, the CPNE, the Council of Pakistan Newspaper Editors, and other bodies. And we agreed on one point agenda, that there should be a consultation, or we should initiate a dialogue among politicians to talk to each other. Why should they be looking towards GHQ or anybody else? Or why should they be closing doors on each other for political dialogue? So there was positions had toughened, and there was a big gap on the position of various sides. So we formulated one point agenda. Yes, politicians must sit together and hold consultation and resolve their differences around elections, nature of elections, and timing of elections. So they must agree on a framework of elections. So we just kept our agenda very limited to one point, persuading politicians to come around and sit together and resolve their differences among themselves. So
was the former Prime Minister receptive to your one-point agenda?
Yes, I think our meeting with Mr. Imran Khan went very well. He was sitting along with his very senior core committee members, and we had a very thorough and frank discussion, and the meeting was very, very productive. So we persuaded Mr. Khan that what else the option is. So we brought it on in the discussion that your effort to bring in army on board on this question has not worked, and why should you be accessing or calling them to come and resolve political differences or come to his rescue. So we said that it's between the politicians, and politicians should sit together. And he responded very positively. And he gave his backing to our call for all parties conference.
Okay. Was there any sort of conditionalities or conditions that he proposed for any sort of all parties conference?
This is one that if you see, no, there was no conditions attached. However, we discussed various confidence building measures.
Okay.
The civil society was concerned about the kind of anti-terrorism cases or terrorist cases being framed against political activists, or the restrictions on civil rights like free assembly and procession. So we have some CVMs in our mind which will be floating to create congenial and peaceful atmosphere,
Okay.
and to create even playing field for all political actors. We do not want that any political actor is excluded. The process should be inclusive and plural, so that people have free choice to choose across a lot of options. So the PTI leaders did raise the issues of arrest, and Imran Khan himself raised the issue of threat to his life, which he thinks is very serious, and he also suspects that he may be debarred from contesting elections. These are his apprehensions, and we think that we will have to address the apprehensions of just not Imran Khan but all political leaders. Like, for example, of Nawaz Sharif, who is disqualified for the whole life. So we think that even that should be taken by the courts. We just cannot, civil society cannot give the bail or reduce the conviction of any leader, nor we can defend Imran Khan in the courts of law. His lawyers are there to defend him. So what we are saying is that there should be due process, like under Article 10A. Justice should be seen to be done and should be done. Okay. And proper judicial process should be followed. But we are against exclusion of any leader from participating in elections.
But you know that Nawaz Sharif has been banned for life. So when you say that Imran Khan was very positive towards, the delegation and the proposals that you were there for, does he also realize now that if he's part of the, he's one of the important stakeholders as far as the electoral process is concerned, so are other parties, including Nawaz Sharif?
No, he was in fact laughing at the kind of even-handedness being proposed by the Noon League, by the PMLN, that exclude Imran Khan and include Nawaz Sharif. That is, of course, laughable. Even playing field is that everybody should be given equal chance to contest elections. Right. That is our principal position. We just do not want to apply discriminatory yardsticks or selective yardsticks.
Absolutely. So what is really surprising, I don't doubt the entire process that all of you have been there for, but we know that the former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been saying it time and again that he's ready to sit with everyone, but he considers the ruling coalition, especially PMLN, People's Party Zardari and Faryal Talpur and the rest of them as thugs, and he believes that they are corrupt and he's never going to compromise, sitting with them. So why would you think that now he's ready to talk? Does he feel that he's in a dark tunnel where he cannot just there's no end to all of this, and he cannot steer forward anymore with the kind of politics that he has been adapting right after his VONC?
I think there is a conflict between Imran Khan's narrative and now his agreement to enter into dialogue or agree to this all-parties conference. For simple reason, we told him that you are one of the main stakeholders in the electoral process, and there is no other option but to talk, and the talk should be strictly among the politicians. So it was in the Imran Khan's interest to agree to dialogue, and this will also be in the interest of all other political parties. Otherwise, there will be constitutional breakdown, there will be political breakdown, and we have seen that there is already economic breakdown. So country cannot afford So these are the compulsions and the timing of our initiative that political parties are considering our proposal very positively, especially after we have broken the hard nut. Khan was this dialogue, but now he's still with this.
Okay, so Imtiaz, now you've met one side, and now you got to meet, of course, the ruling coalition, all the parties there, especially PMLN. So when do you plan to do that?
We have already six parties, majority of the PDM parties, who have signed this appeal, including Mr. Mangal's Baluchistan National Party, Dr. Malik's National Party, Mr. Achak Zaid's Pakhtunkhwa Milli Wagi Party, Mr. Sherpau's PQP, and Mr. Dawad's National Democratic Movement. So we have majority of the PDM parties already who have signed our appeal. And we have sent our letter to Prime Minister, to Mr. Asif Ali Zardari, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto, to my friend Maulana Fazlur Rahman, to consider our request, and we'll be meeting them in the next few days. Today we met Amir Jamaat-e-Islami, the head of Jamaat-e-Islami, Pakistan, Mr. Sirajul Haq, and he has responded very positively. He has supported our initiative to initiate the dialogue and hold all parties.
Okay, so you've met a couple of PDM parties, but the main party, you've met a couple of parties, as you just say, but the mainstream political parties like People's Party, like PMLN, like JUI, all the three who sort of can be considered as the decision makers for this coalition government, or the decision makers for in all parties conference. You got to have that in place. You got to meet them, and let's see how they respond. I don't know how positive you are at this, because we've seen, you were right that there is bickering on both sides. We've seen even PMLN is divided. What we see Maryam Nawaz Sharif saying is totally different from how the Prime Minister actually puts his point of view in terms of Imran Khan and Pakistan Tehreek-i-Insaf.
Nadia, you know that I've been involved in public diplomacy. If I could bring the parties in India and parties in Pakistan together in our parliamentary conference, agree on very, very long declarations. I know the art of resolving differences and finding middle ground. And I don't think that morally it will be correct for these parties like People's Party or N-League or Maulana Fazlur Rahman to refuse to talk.
Right.
While their main adversary, who was elected to talk, has agreed to talk. Previously, these parties used to say that Imran Khan is not ready to talk to us. And even Prime Minister, on the floor of the House, in the Senate, he offered the talks. So it is very difficult politically for them to refuse our invitation.
Absolutely.
And moreover, we have support of all the bars. And we have support of, I think our idea of this all-party conference has got a very good press till today. Though a section of press tried to black out us or try to sidetrack the story, but we will force the media to make it their top story. We also know the art how to make the headline.
Well, we can only hope that you succeed, because of course this is something very important. Political dialogue is important. To get the political stability back is important. However, Imtiaz Saab, the timing is very important, because you've got elections coming up for Punjab and even for Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The constitution is very much clear that elections are supposed to be held within 90 days. Are you saying that all the political parties, you would like them to sit down to decide for a general election date rather than going for a separate provincial elections?
You see that already this process of 90 days election is getting tough resistance from the various levels of administration executive, be it provincial or be it federal, and various ministries had gone and they say, sorry, we can't do it. Now the matter will be referred to Supreme Court of Pakistan. Let's wait the Supreme Court judgment. Again, Supreme Court will have to think about this, or will it have to address this issue. Moreover, Parliament is, I think, today or tomorrow, they are going to pass some kind of resolution on this. But that will not be a legally binding resolution, because the Constitution is clear about it, that within 90 days, you have to hold elections. But we are not taking any position on this, whether you hold elections in 2 installments or that is up to the parties to decide.
Right.
Now, who are we to, and we cannot deviate from the Constitution. We want the Constitution should be observed. Only politicians, the public representatives can sit and they can agree on some new consensus. And that can be followed up by some amendment in the Constitution or laws by the Parliament, in which the PTI must also be represented. It should be by bipartisan consensus. So we are covering that the political agreement in the APC must be followed by some kind of legislative framework or legislation on that agreement to implement, to make it legal.
So I think you think that, what is happening in Pakistan, a time has come for a new charter of democracy, where all political parties now decide, because enough has been done, since 2018 onwards till date. And do you also feel that, would you be able to, ask the political parties not to attack each other till the time, all parties conference actually takes place and goes to a logical end?
We are interested in a bonus for civil society, for citizens. We are going to propose a charter of rights, that we citizens should be guaranteed our fundamental rights, and that we will ask parties to make part of their manifestos or public commitment. Yes, I am keen about some kind of charter of behaving as Democrats. So there should be some charter of ethics, democratic ethics.
Absolutely.
But it depends upon, and you help me in drafting that declaration or charter, and other journalists, and the intellectuals, and the academics. Let us draft a people's charter of democracy, which could be present to this APC. Help me, contribute.
That's very good. Of course, I'm sure many people would like to help in this regard. But towards the end, I just want your comment on this as a journalist, as somebody who's been observing politics in this country. Why do you think that the politics has come to this level? Who actually would you like to blame?
The establishment.
And now you believe, Imtiaz Saab, that, once they have announced... No, but you believe that they are neutral now?
I don't deny that the institutional imperatives, compulsions, and long history of it from that point. I just cannot say I don't have any inside information.
Okay, so you'll have to repeat this. You'll have to repeat this because आपका connection cut हो रहा था. I'm going to just repeat my question. When you said establishment, उसके बाद मैं repeat करती हूँ question. Then you say, do you believe, Imtiaz Saab, that they are neutral as announced by them?
If we go by their public proclamation, that they are committing that they will be confining to their professional duties as envisaged by the Constitution. So I welcome this statement. But you see, there is a long history of military's intervention in politics. How far they will have dragged back those tentacles, I just do not know what it is. But I hope that military should, and hope the military should keep out of politics.
Thank you so much, Imtiaz Alam sir, for being with us on DawnNews English. And as you meet the political parties, that's People's Party, PMLN, and Maulana Fazlur Rahman's political party, let's see what's going to come out. And we will definitely have another session with you once you meet all of them. Thank you so much for being with us. That's all
You're
for now.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.